Fine, maybe diamonds aren't useless, but mining for diamonds is a terrible way to get diamonds. In long-term survival worlds, 9 times out of 10, it's better to use villagers. I'm on a quest to create the perfect start in hardcore Minecraft, and the next step is to create my villager breeder. Gotta break all the job blocks and all the beds. You may be wondering, what's that iron doing there? Of course, it must be from an iron golem, there's poppies right next to it. But how would it lose the fight to the zombie? In the moment, I just assumed I had killed it in the first video and forgot to pick up the iron. But I have the privilege of replay mod, and it turns out that the roof I built and the position of the boat were just right so that the zombie could hit the golem without the golem hitting the zombie. Needless to say, every time I make an iron farm from now on, it's going to include this method. If I'm being honest, mining for diamonds isn't actually terrible, but it's way easier to enchant later on if you use villagers for your armor and tools. If you spend some time setting up a villager hall, you can get infinite diamond armor to enchant with, which is less random and way faster than using books. No, wait, this is not how this is supposed to be. What the freak am I doing? Yeah, this is the kind of time loss that I can't have. That is actually huge time loss, I can't lie. That's an issue. Why is that open? Oh, that's why that's open. It's because I fell. Okay, new plan. We're gonna get this guy a path. I got the villagers back in, but was worried about time, so I changed the layout of the farm and didn't include a baby villager filter. Hopefully that doesn't cause any problems for me later. The next step was to build an iron farm, which I'm happy to say went a lot smoother. The farm I'm using is based off of ENX04's Day 1 iron farm. It's hard not to mention it in every video I make, it's such a good farm that everyone should memorize. After this, I still need to get weakness potions for curing villagers and slime for a mob farm I'm going to make later. Want to know my genius idea for getting both at once? Trial chambers. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First, I would finish the iron farm. By the way, iron is way more useful than diamonds. Once I set up my villager hall, I'll be able to trade iron for emeralds and emeralds for diamond gear. And it's all basically free because I made an easy iron farm in less than 10 minutes. Now it's time to find the trial chamber, and I'm going to find it using a cool F3 trick. The last time I did this in a video, people said my explanation was not detailed enough, so this time I'm going to make sure that it is. Here's how I use the F3 menu to locate a trial chamber. First, I'm going to press F3, and then F3 and 1 at the same time to pull up this pie chart. Now I'm going to press the number next to tick, which is 4, the number next to level, which is 2, and the number next to block entities, which is 2. Now I can see that there's a trial spawner and a vault within my render distance. So to narrow it down, I'm going to change my render distance all the way down to 2, and then reset the pie chart by pressing F3 twice. Now it shows that there's nothing on my pie chart, but if I slowly raise my render distance by 1, you'll see more things appear on my pie chart. And now at 4 render distance, a vault and a trial spawner showed up. So now I just have to figure out which direction it's in. So I'm going to lower my render distance back to 3 because that's 1 less than where I found the spawner. And then reset the pie chart by pressing F3 twice. And then F3 and G, now I can walk into new chunks, and once it appears, I know it's in that direction. So now I know that the trial spawner is in this direction. I hope that satisfies all you tutorial fiends out there, because I bet 50% of people clicked off or skipped over that part. Whoa, not me mining for diamonds. Okay, obviously I'm not just going to walk past diamonds. Upgrade templates are expensive, and it's never a bad thing to have extra diamonds. I really just mean that villager methods are generally more efficient long term, and that's why I don't mine for diamonds. Before I get to the trial chamber, I want to defend myself. In the last video I made, I kind of got clowned on for all my deaths, so I'm just going to take a moment to explain myself. So in this first frame, I see the piglin brute in front of me, but I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'll just block myself down here because that's what I usually do. So I reach up to do that, and then I run out of blocks. I have 2, but not 3. And I don't think to use my crafting table. Instead, I'm like, oh, let's check my inventory. But I see the netherrack, and I try to grab that, and then I just go right under it and click the coal. So now the piglin brute can fully get to me, and I can't do anything. Except I have the crafting table. If I place the crafting table there, I'd be completely fine. Okay, maybe I can't actually defend my deaths that well, but I just ran into the Enderman. That was the biggest problem there. Yeah, I can't explain it, man. Maybe I can't defend myself. You know what I'm realizing now is that if I just had a shield in any of these clips, I would have been completely fine. But I always feel too proud to use a shield. I'm like, nah, I'm better than shields. I'll be fine. And then stuff like this happens. This one I actually don't blame myself for at all. I hit the clutch, and then there was just a creeper that I couldn't see. So yeah. Okay, this is actually the reason I wanted to do this explanation bit. I took a step back to right here so that the creeper is a little bit behind the pillar, so it's still gonna blow up, but I'm not gonna take damage. What I wasn't ready for was the skeleton shooting the creeper so that I took the full damage from it. Then here, all the piglins are supposed to spawn in the bottom area of this bastion. So when I placed that block there and blocked it off, I should have been okay. But this piglin got to me, and that's because if you see this red particle right here, that means that I am in a crimson forest, and there was a non-bastion piglin, just a random stray piglin that spawned in the top area, and then sensed that I was mining the gold, which is really annoying because like I can't predict that, but I guess I just have to play safer. And I was just trying to place my boat. As soon as I got out of the boat, the piglin would get into it, and then it would be stuck, and then I'd get to heal up, hopefully. Or it would hit me while I'm still in the boat, and then it'd suck. So that's the end of my segment, where I explain my deaths. So, the trial chamber. Why am I here? 3 reasons. Bones for bone meal, slime for a hopper clock, and weakness potions for curing villagers. Bones won't require any RNG, skeletons are everywhere in the trial chambers, so that won't be a problem. Slimes, on the other hand, have a 1 in 4 chance of spawning in a trial chamber, unless you run it ominous style, in which case lingering potions will spawn, sometimes giving mobs the oozing effect. The oozing effect spawns slimes whenever a mob or player dies, and that was how I planned to get slime. Finally, weakness potions have a 6.8% chance of spawning in dispensers, but dispensers are all over the place in trial chambers. Now, I'm sure you have a few questions. Are weakness potions really that hard to make? Why not get slime from a swamp? Isn't there an alternate form of the hopper clock that doesn't use sticky pistons? Why not get bone blocks from the nether? You got lucky with the trial chamber so close. What if you couldn't find one? Most importantly, what's the real reason you're doing this? Maybe there are faster ways to do this, maybe relying on RNG for this isn't a good idea, and maybe mining diamonds isn't really that slow or inefficient. You want to know the real reason I'm doing this? Because I want to. The other ways sound boring, and I would rather stand in the face of all logic and reason to take the chancier, more fun path. If things don't work out, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. After 14 dispensers, I found some weakness potions. Apart from the fact that I almost die in this clip, you might also notice a lingering potion of infestation. I didn't know this at the time, and I still don't know this for sure. The wiki is not very helpful with this, but I think that means that the slime potion cannot spawn. What I'm saying is I didn't get slime from the trial chamber. So that's the end of part 2. Sorry it took 3 months. The next one probably won't take as long, but no promises. Also, by the way, on the very first ominous vault I opened, I got a mace.